What's up, everyone? This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. There's no base anything I say at these videos. Make your own financial decisions. I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold none of that shit. So, I'm just here. Um, Until it's cloudy, smoky out here. There's a lot of fires going on out here around Oregon, Washington, Idaho. Um, you know, everyone's always every year is shocked, like, oh my god, there's fires out here, but like it happens every year. So, but my lungs are fucked up. Can't breathe for shit. Anyways, that's not why I'm here. The reason I jumped in today is because the halting, it is very annoying, very obnoxious. Like, especially, AMC's halted on. Uh, they were halted yesterday, I believe, for the reason of the earnings release coming out. Before that, we were halted for the debt restructure. So, it's one of those things that they have a rule in place that they can halt on news or restructuring of a company's debt and things like that. So it isn't I don't know. I don't think they should have. For me personally, I don't like it, but it is something they've got set. There's, and that's something I should probably look into more. Like, as far as halts, like what are the reasons they can halt? But there has been other times it's halted where it's, when it jumps up. I don't know. I guess it's just the halts are kind of tricky because they seem to halt it when it's convenient for their other side, is what it seems like to just the average retail investor like myself. When it's halted for good news, like, really, you know what I mean? Like, just let it run. Like, what? I just can't. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I haven't seen enough, but I've never seen another stock halted on the the eve of good news. Like, oh, there's good news coming out. Halt that shit. So, but that, to be honest, that kind of gives me more conviction and faith in the play, because it shows me that things are crumbling, things are coming apart, to where, like, what the only thing they, so that means, look, to me it means that they haven't been able to get rid of all these shares that everyone claims that were taken care of after the reverse split. Like, that's one of the FUD pieces I always see, like, oh well, the reverse split screwed us. They're good now. They covered everything during the reverse split, but then there's still halts every 5 minutes or whatever. Not literally every 5 minutes, but there's halts up on debt restructuring. There's halts when it went up too fast. So they're still doing halts, extra halts, I feel like, in AMC, and that to me shows that there's definitely a lot of things still in the background that we may not know about. A lot of people said that, well, Adam Aaron made deals with these guys, and that's why, the shorts have, he helped them out. They're out of the play. But then, you know things like that just kind of make you realize that they're not out of the play. That there's still things, still a lot of bullshit, still a lot of fuckery going on, man. So, um, but in a way, it is kind of confirmation for me personally that there is still something going on, that they feel that they don't want it to rip. And, you know so I guess that's it. That's just what I'm saying, man. Like, there's FUD that people say, hey, it's over, AMC's done with. But, seeing these halts and all the hit piece bad articles, and no matter what, there's always something going on. So, I feel like we're onto something. I'm onto something. I just like the stock. I like the company. I believe fundamentally it's growing, and I believe that um, there's no way that it should be sitting where it's sitting at right now at this price. At minimum, without being over leveraged, without synthetics, without it being just all the bullshit that goes on behind the scenes, without any of that, this stock should still sit around $20 to $30 a share. It should be bouncing around that range. We shouldn't be bouncing around $4 to $5 a share. You know what I mean? Getting lucky at 6, like, woo. We're at 520. We're all hyped and shit. Like, that's it's not right. But at the same time, the longer they kick this can down the road, the more shares I buy. And it's at the point right now where the last few weeks I was unable to buy, and I was transferring my business, moving, construction, a lot of work going on that I just didn't have the money. And like I always preach, never invest more than you're willing to lose. I wasn't willing to lose money on these days. I bought a share here and there, a few bucks here and there, but now I'm back, baby. Going back to a share, 2, 3, 4, 5 a day, whatever I can afford. Um, and so for me, it gives me more time to add and try to get up to that 5K, 10K, shares. If they let me get up to 10, you know what I mean? And for someone like me that buys as lightly as I do, and I have 2,000 shares, around 2,000 shares. I shouldn't say 2,000 exactly because I don't know exactly where I'm at. That should show you how much why you shouldn't listen to me. I don't even know how many shares I have. I know it's over 1,500, but under 2K, somewhere around there. But for someone like me that doesn't buy heavily, that buys a couple shares a day, I can imagine for people that have the same conviction or DD or faith, whatever you want to call it, in this play and has more money, then I can imagine where there's a lot of people that are just throwing it in, you know what I mean? And no selling. I haven't sold. I buy, I hold, and I sit and wait. Liam, what's good, Liam? Shit, just chilling, man. Just the thing is, today I really was looking at, on Twitter, a lot of people were talking about the last two halts, and then it just kind of triggered something in my head, like, well, one of the same persons that had commented on one of my posts had let me know that during the reverse split that all the shares were covered and we got smoked. And then he said, at another point, Adam Aaron diluted and we got smoked. And now he says anytime it runs, it's going to get halted because they'll never let it run. And I'm thinking, so one or the other, like, if shorts got out and they covered everything and there was nothing to do and there's nothing to worry about, then why are they halting it so much? And that was the argument, that they're just gonna halt it every time it runs. At some point or another, this thing, in my personal opinion, will not be able to be halted, will not be able to be stopped. It's just gonna happen. And when it happens, there's going to be a lot of people on the outside looking in thinking, damn, I wish I was in there. They're not going to be able to get in. They're going to try to buy, and since it's that loading wheel, loading. And then at the end of the day, it's going to say order was unable to be processed, Just my thoughts on it. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, and I can't tell you to buy, sell, or hold, or I'm not telling you exactly what's going to happen. I'm just giving you my thoughts, my theories, my opinions. If they're wrong, possible. Mew God, what's up? Maddie says, what are we talking about right now? I don't know. What are we talking about? I'm just talking. Carl, what's up, man? Said they added 20 more on Wednesday. Yeah, it's going to be Rip City when they try to FOMO in, is what he says. So, Carl, I believe you're right, man. Time is ticking. I will say this, it has taken a long time, but I've anticipated this. When I first jumped into AMC, and I think like a lot of us did, we kind of ignorantly jumped in thinking it was going to be just a quick rip. Buy a few shares and you're going to get 10K per share, and boom, within a week you've got $1 million. And it sounded fun, sounded awesome, but when you really sit down and break it down and do the DD, and if you've been through the process of especially money and financials and documentation, like legalities and lawyers and shit like that, like it all kind of rotates and revolves around the same thing. They drag these things out as long as they can, and they will continue to drag it out as long as they can. They will stretch this thing till it just is at the last second, and then hopefully you're on the right side when it does what I think it's going to do. I think personally, I still don't think we're like days or weeks away. I think we're still a ways away, I think maybe a year ago, I started talking about we're 1.5 to 2 years out. So I still believe I was probably pretty accurate with that timing. So if a year ago I'm saying we're 1.5 to 2 years out, that means now we're about a half to a year out. And I don't give dates. I don't know for sure. This is my thought process on it. It could even go further than that. I don't want it to. I don't want to be the one that says, oh, well, 5 more years. But at the same token, for someone like me, it's fine because I'm buying slowly and surely. And I also just believe that if there was no MOAS on the table, I just like this company. I like the stock. I believe that I'm investing my money into something that's going to make me money in the long run. So like I said, with no MOAS, none of that involved, fundamentally, obviously, you can see theaters are coming back. You can see they've restructured debt. You can see they've just blah, blah, blah. All that shit, you know? That's all I got to say. Blah, blah, blah. Positive news. That's all I'm here for. But with all the halts, I don't think they can halt it, you know, every damn time. I think they're going to halt it as long as they can. It's just the same thing as what we're talking about. This thing's going to get stretched out. It's like a rubber band, you know, you're going to stretch. When you're a kid and you just stretch and see how far it goes, and when it snaps, then it's over. You can't use it no more. You know, you can try to tie it in a knot, you know, and maybe they've got it in a knot now. But ooh, I just see my neighbor's trash out, and I realize it's trash day. As an adult, there's nothing worse than missing trash day. If you know what I mean? Oh my God, I miss trash day. So come with me and take my trash out. But yeah, like I said, the halts, they suck. Like, I don't know of any other companies that have been halted personally. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but I don't know of any other companies that have been halted on like the good news. They're like, well, the earnings came out and they restructured debt and there's too much good news. Let's halt this shit just in case. You know, we don't want these guys to be making money or nothing. You know, it's kind of a funny situation. So, you got to find the positive in it though, man. It's just like you know, the law of attraction. I don't know if you believe in shit like that, but there's positive in every situation, no matter what the situation is. I know it's like sometimes when you're in a horrible negative situation, it's very hard to find the positive in it. But I'm finding the positive in the fact that it shows me that the shorts are still trapped, that they haven't covered, that, you know, Adam Aaron hasn't worked alongside with them and freed them, and they can do whatever they want now. It just shows that they're halting it for a reason, you know? And it's not just because of, you know, we got the good news. It's not just because of the debt restructuring. They halted it a couple weeks back when Roaring Kitty was in GameStop and AMC ripped at the same time as GameStop did, you know? And those are other things. Like, then why in the world does GameStop and AMC rip together, you know? And they could have totally different things going on, you know? Or when everyone was saying that, you know, when Adam Aaron called for dilution, you know, that's why it capped us from that run. Well, then later Ryan Cohen called for dilution, and it also capped AMC. So how does that work? Like, it's a freaking algorithm. That's how it works. It ain't nothing to do with nothing, you know? You've been in AMC long enough, you know that you could see, God, the smoke out here is messing with my lungs. So there's fires all over. Idaho's on fire, man. Washington, Oregon, everything's on fire. So it's like smoky as shit. Anyway, you know, they had one of their, literally the most successful quarter of their history. And the day after that, the stock just plummeted. So there's so many things that give me faith, conviction that I'm in the right path. It's kind of like before you get the victory, you got to go through the bullshit. You know, you play a championship game. You're not gonna just, you know, win 50-0, and it's gonna be a tight game. But you know, when you know that your team is legit and they're doing all the things right and playing fair, you're gonna take it. So that's what I'm looking at. Drive now. Anyway, but yeah, I think, you know, those are the things you got to watch for, in my personal opinion. You know, the FUD will always be there. There's always going to be something new. It's always going to be there. So the one thing that also gives me faith and conviction is the FUD. It keeps changing into something else, because after a while the narrative is like, oh well, shit, we can't go after that one. Let's change over here now. And I can't say that. the opponent is formidable. They're smart. They're not idiots. They've done this for a living. They're going to continue to make money. They're going to continue to be successful. So I can't hate on them for being successful. You know what I mean? I can't hate on them for, you know, doing what they do to continue to do what they do. That's what they do. They make money. They might do it in a way that, we don't like, or you don't like, or I don't like. But you just got to know your opponent. Know that they will do and say whatever it takes to try to get you out of the position. You yourself personally can't depend on anyone else for your DD. You can't depend on anyone else for your research. Yes, you can take what someone says and run with it, which I think is smart. I'd listen to YouTubers. I listen to, every YouTuber, and sometimes if I have time, I'll jump in, and what they're saying, I'll kind of go in and look, and say, okay, I see why they came up with that theory, or that theory is crazy, or, you do your own research, your own DD on this stuff. Someone like me, I don't ever claim to be an expert. I've never been, I've never just claimed to be that guy. You know what I mean? I've done well in the market, and I'm going to continue to do well in the market, I believe, by following what I've done. I follow my instinct, and I make sure I know the company I'm investing into, because there is times, now I'm not going to say I'm perfect, because there's definitely times I've jumped into stock just by reading someone's post or something, and I get it. I FOMO'd into shit like that too. But I would say 9 times out of 10, whenever I jump into a play without knowing what's going to happen, I'll see a little bump up, and I'm like, well, should I sell now? If you don't know what you're doing, it's gonna be a problem. So you got to have some sort of game plan. Even with AMC or GameStop, whatever you're in, have some sort of game plan, because if you don't know where to sell, you're not gonna. Is this the top? Is this the bottom? Where do I go? Or should I sell now? And you're afraid you're gonna miss the top. You're gonna miss out on a lot of money trying to get rich. If that makes sense. Yeah. Volk, what's up, man? I don't. Am I saying your name right? Volkstoy King. I don't know, man. I'm sorry. AMC to 6. It says Das Auto. Carl says always a new angle for them. Yeah, there's always going to be a new angle, and I've never claimed that I'm 100% right. Who knows, man? Maybe some of the FUD is somewhat accurate, but in my opinion, for my DD, I still believe there's a chance. A very good chance there's kids running in the road. Damn kids. Anyways, sorry, I got sidetracked here. There's always a good chance of, they could win. The other side could win, but in my opinion, they have not won right now. A lot of people will say, oh, it's already over, they won, blah, blah, blah. So for me, I don't think it's over. Those are the reasons why I gave you earlier in the video. So that's it, man. I'm going to continue to buy and hold and just play the way I play. You know what I mean? Volk's Toy King. All right. Yeah. Volk's Toy King. All right. Volk's Toy King. Got it. My bad, man. Because it's funny, because like when I did music, I went by Menace all the time, and now all my social medias say Menace on it. You know what I mean? But I spelled it with an S, because I had this like genius idea that I was gonna put a dollar sign. I was like 15 when I started doing this shit. You know what I mean? So I put MENA $E, and now like on my social media, like it'll say Menace, but it'll be with an S, and I get people that like come into my shop, my store locally, and they'll be like, "Hello, Menassi," and they think it's French. So now I've got to play this role of some French man. I'm like, oui, yes. Would you like to buy a hat? Oh, shit. So, yeah, I don't know, man. My name's been anyways, then I go on other places, or even on YouTube. If I comment on someone's live, they'll be like, hello, Manasi, or it just never works out. So, young kids, if you're out there, don't replace a C with a dollar sign to look cool. It doesn't work. It's not very cool after a while. Anyways, man, but yeah, that's it, man. I got faith. I got conviction. Still buying GameStop. Still buying AMC. RHP, I talked about a couple weeks ago. Gave me a good little rip. I'm still I jumped in and out of that one. I'm back into it. See if it gives me another little rip to 10. I'm hoping it goes like 105, something like that. But just my thoughts, man. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't price target. I don't know for sure where it's going. This is just one of those ones I'm jumping into. So, anyways, yeah, I think that's it, man. I think we've France. It's chapeau, huh? Chapeau. Hey, merci. I like the chapeau. I don't know, man. I know I sound like an idiot, but it is funny. I got like specifically like a fewer elderly ladies that somehow have come across my Facebook or Twitter, and they see the MENASE, you know, and they'll be like, "Oh, hi, Manasi," and I don't have the heart to correct them, you know. So I'm just like, oh, I don't want to be like, "Oh, yeah, my name's Menace," you know. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this one, but maybe I should just be Menasi. Menasi. Yes, oui. All right, man. I've done enough. I gotta go. I got a sidewalk sale I gotta get ready for, man. So y'all have a good day. Be blessed. Let's get rich soon, peace.